Alright, so move on to the next segment. I'll be sharing my WWE Royal Rumble pay-per-view prediction. So this will be my Royal Rumble 2024 pay-per-view prediction. I'll be going over the whole entire main card for the Royal Rumble pay-per-view this calendar year 2024. So the road to WrestleMania 40 begins with the 37th annual Royal Rumble pay-per-view event. And this should be one heck of a pay-per-view. So starting off with the first match on the card, you have Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. This match has so much potential to truly steal the show. And I do believe in long-term storytelling in wrestling is very important. And you get the long-term storytelling with this match between Logan Paul and Kevin Owens. Because if you guys remember, this match has truly came full circle. If you guys remember, Logan Paul's first WrestleMania appearance back in 2021 at WrestleMania 37, he was involved in the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn match that they had at WrestleMania 37, but he was on the short end of the night when he suffered a stunner at the hands of Kevin Owens. Fast forward 2 to 3 years later, this is the marquee match that we're going to get at the Royal Rumble match between Logan Paul and Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. And Logan Paul deserves his flowers. He deserves his credit. Yes, a lot of people dislike him and his younger brother, Jake Paul, but the Paul brothers deserve their credit. They have taken over social media platforms since they've broken onto the scene. Jake Paul, call what it is, he makes a lot of money in the sport of boxing, and Logan Paul is a smart businessman. But Logan Paul has actually found what he's actually great at, and that's being a WWE wrestler, because in his short time in the WWE, Logan Paul has proved that he is actually one of the best wrestlers on the whole entire roster. Now, he still has a long way to go, but we're talking about talent-wise, skill-wise, athleticism. Logan Paul is already one of the best wrestlers that the WWE has to offer. He already has great matches with Roman Reigns. He already had that marquee match with Seth Rollins at last year's WrestleMania. That was an incredible match. He's already a great heel character that can get under the skin of the WWE Universe. The man is a natural WWE wrestler. And it only took him a year and some change to prove why he's one of the best in the world today at what he does. But Kevin Owens is one of those veteran wrestlers that can have a great match, honestly, with a broomstick at this point. He's been a veteran traveling around the world, wrestling in promotions like WWE, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Ring of Honor, you name it. Kevin Owens has done it all. And when you have a guy that is as skillful as Logan Paul for as a short time that he's been in WWE against a veteran guy that's seen it all in Kevin Owens, you're asking for a marquee match, you're asking for a chef's kiss match, you're asking for a potential 5-star match between the two respective wrestlers. But with that being said, I'm going to go with Logan Paul to successfully retain his United States Championship against Kevin Owens. I do believe this is going to be a competitive match filled with a lot of blowing mind spots in this match. I think both wrestlers are going to do a great job selling during this match, having some great spots that are going to have the WWE Universe on their feet, at those that attend the Royal Rumble and those watching around the world. But I do believe that WWE has a plan for Logan Paul to at least keep the United States Championship all the way until WrestleMania. I know Triple H is very high on Logan Paul, and I do see Logan Paul getting a marquee win under his young career, beating Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. I do see Logan Paul actually using the brass knuckles to win this match to successfully retain the United States Championship. So moving on to the next match, then we would get the Women's Royal Rumble. So this should be a loaded match. I know Triple H and the WWE creative and the executives have done a great job putting more into the women's division, more stock into the women's division as the end of 2023 escalated. And I do believe that this is going to be one heck of a Royal Rumble for the women. I think this Royal Rumble match, you're going to see marquee names of Bayley, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Asuka. And we could see some surprises in the Women's Royal Rumble. You can see the debut of Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill has yet to break onto the WWE scene and be in the ring since she jumped ship from AEW and signed with the WWE in the fall of 2023. I think Jade Cargill could make her Royal Rumble debut and potentially eliminate 8 to 10 women in that match. And I think we could see the return of women like Naomi, who just finished up her TNA career. Her contract is up. I think she's going to re-sign with WWE, so you can see her there. The return of Sasha Banks, and that could return back to WWE. Or we could see the return of Liv Morgan as well. She's been out for quite some time as well. So I think this Royal Rumble has a lot to offer in the women's side. But with that being said, I'm going to go with Bayley to win the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble. I do believe that Bayley will win her first Royal Rumble in her illustrious WWE career. I do believe that she does deserve it. She has yet to accomplish this in her illustrious WWE career. She's been the unsung hero of the women's division since 2020. If you look at the pandemic era of WWE, she carried the women's division on her back. And she's been doing that ever since, being the unsung hero of the division since the early 2020s. And I do believe that she has a great storyline going with Damage Control. Damage Control, she no longer has control of Damage Control. You really see Dakota Kai as the new leader of Damage Control. And she no longer really has power of the group, especially losing her match at War Games and Survivor Series. So the group will have, I do believe that Bayley is going to win the Royal Rumble, which will set up for the group to eventually turn on her, which will set up for a big marquee match. Bayley versus Io Sky for the women's world title at WrestleMania 40. I think that's the best way to do it. I think Bayley's going to win the women's Royal Rumble. Then you look at the big marquee match. You got the Fatal 4-Way match. You have Roman Reigns defending his WWE Undisputed Universal Championship against Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight. This could go down as one of the best title defenses of Roman Reigns' illustrious championship reign that we have seen nearly go on for a total of 4 years in the making. Roman Reigns is actually, to me, Roman Reigns has one of the best title defenses I've ever seen, being a WWE fan and a fan of wrestling. I mean, the storytelling has been there. The compelling stories has been there with the bloodline. He's a part-timer, which can irritate a lot of fans out there, but overall, this title defense, or I should say this title reign for Roman Reigns has been absolutely phenomenal. But I do believe that from a booking standpoint, having Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton versus LA Knight versus AJ Styles is a great booking decision for the Royal Rumble. You have Randy Orton, who was sidelined by the Bloodline back in 2022, dealing with a legit injury that could have ended his wrestling career, a back injury that could have ended it all. His final match, in terms of wrestling storylines, back in 2022, he was teaming up with Matt Riddle against the Usos, which was his final match, but nearly had a back injury that ended his whole entire wrestling career. So from my standpoint, it seems like the Bloodline took him out, so I think that makes sense. Then you have LA Knight, who was screwed out of the Undisputed Championship at Crown Jewel against Roman Reigns due to the fact that the Bloodline had their interference in the main event of Crown Jewel. And then you have AJ Styles, who was taken out by the Bloodline. WWE writ him off for the few months to sell the injury that AJ Styles sustained by the hands of Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. So all three of these guys have a legit chance of winning the championship and have a legit reason why they're all challenging Roman Reigns all at once. But with that being said, I'm going to go with Roman Reigns to successfully retain his WWE Undisputed Championship in the Fatal 4-Way match against LA Knight, Randy Orton, and AJ Styles. And I do believe that Roman Reigns will make it into WrestleMania as the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion. I do believe this will be one hell of a match. I do believe this will go down as one of the best matches of Roman Reigns' illustrious title reign. And I do believe this has match of the year written all over when you have a guy like Roman Reigns, who is a compelling storyteller. When you have a guy like LA Knight, that is a compelling storyteller. When you have a guy like AJ Styles, who can never have a bad match. Hell, he can have a 5-star match with a damn broomstick. And then you have a legend like Randy Orton that understands the business better than anybody else. I think you're asking for a chef's kiss. I think this is going to be a potential match of the year. But I do believe that Roman Reigns will retain his title due to the fact that Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso will get involved, just like the rest of Roman Reigns' title defenses have gone as of late. But there is still the big money match waiting for Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40. Whether that's a rematch of WrestleMania 39 against Cody Rhodes, whether that's a big-time dream match waiting for him fighting The Rock, or a triple threat match with Cody Rhodes and The Rock at WrestleMania 40. Roman Reigns will successfully retain his title and will march into WrestleMania 40 as the undisputed champion. So that leads me to the men's Royal Rumble match. So I honestly waited until Monday to record this segment due to the fact that we seen in a real life injury, due to the fact that World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins tore his MCL. I think he did something to his meniscus as well. There's a shot that Seth Rollins may miss WrestleMania. So I thought that tonight on Raw, he was going to vacate the World Heavyweight Championship, and then the 30-man Royal Rumble match was going to be for Seth Rollins' world title. Good news is that isn't the case, and he has a long way to recover until April, but we still have time to see Seth Rollins in a dream match. I'll get to that. But the men's Royal Rumble should be a stacked match. I mean, we got guys like Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, the Intercontinental Champion Gunther, Jey Uso, one half of the tag team champions Finn Balor. I'm pretty sure Mr. Money in the Bank, the other half of the tag team champions Damian Priest will be in the match, Dominic Mysterio. The list goes on. I think this is going to be one hell of a Royal Rumble. And then you can see the returns of the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar, and you can see the return of Sami Zayn as well in this match. But this is how I would truly book the Royal Rumble. In terms of eliminations, this is how I would book the Royal Rumble. You can have Gunther eliminate Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble match to set up for a compelling Intercontinental Championship match between the two at WrestleMania 40. That's a dream match that WWE fans have been wanting for a very long time between Gunther and Brock Lesnar. Why not give it to us at WrestleMania 40? You can have Gunther eliminate Brock Lesnar from the match and potentially have Brock Lesnar pissed off about it, and then you set up a storyline for WrestleMania 40. I think that's what I would do. Another booking decision I would have Sami Zayn actually eliminate Drew McIntyre from the Royal Rumble match. We know how obsessed Drew McIntyre's character has been as of late as his heel turn, wanting to become a world champion. Well, Sami Zayn would be the correct guy to eliminate him from the Royal Rumble match this year, because in storytelling, Drew McIntyre was the one that took out Sami Zayn after the Survivor Series pay-per-view, and Sami Zayn has been written off of television ever since. Potentially have Sami Zayn eliminate Drew McIntyre for the match, and potentially have a WrestleMania match between Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania 40. Then the other booking decision I would have is you have Jimmy Uso interfere on the Royal Rumble and eliminate his brother Jey Uso to set up for their WrestleMania match. If you guys have not been following the product, this has been a match nearly a year in the making now between Jimmy and Jey Uso, the twin brothers. Jey Uso nearly won the Undisputed Championship against Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, but his twin brother Jimmy Uso cost him the title, and the two have been separated ever since, because now you have Jey on Raw and you have Jimmy on SmackDown. This would be a great time to have these two revisit their beef, their issues, and you have Jimmy Uso cost Jey Uso a spot at headlining and main eventing WrestleMania, eliminating him from the Royal Rumble, and then you could have a dream match between the two twin brothers. But with that being said, one more. I apologize. The one more booking decision I would have Cody Rhodes eliminated by somebody in the Royal Rumble match in a similar way that Shawn Michaels was eliminated in the 2010 Royal Rumble. We all know how obsessed Cody Rhodes is obsessed with finishing his story. Well, I got a call back to that. If you remember back in 2010 how obsessed Shawn Michaels was when he was unsuccessful in 2009 of defeating the streak, or ending the Undertaker's WrestleMania streak, where he lost at WrestleMania 25, and he was so obsessed a year later to finish his story and get back to facing the Undertaker at WrestleMania when the Undertaker at the time was a world champion. Shawn Michaels was eliminated from the match, and he was off the rails because he was in danger of not facing the Undertaker at WrestleMania 26 and potentially ending his streak. You can have the same callback of Cody Rhodes being eliminated and him not knowing what to do for weeks, building up to WrestleMania 40, having him earn his shot to win his story over again, or finish his story over in a different way other than the Royal Rumble. So those are my callbacks. But with that being said, I do believe that CM Punk will win the 2024 Men's Royal Rumble match. I think this is CM Punk's moment to win his first Royal Rumble match in his Hall of Fame WWE career. CM Punk came back to WWE to headline and main event WrestleMania, night 1 of WrestleMania or night 2, something that he's never done in his WWE Hall of Fame career. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship is a marquee match that deserves to main event WrestleMania 40 Night 1. Now, as I just said, we got the news that Seth Rollins tore his MCL and damaged his meniscus and is in jeopardy of missing WrestleMania. But I think Seth Rollins knows how important that marquee match will be at WrestleMania 40. I think his rehab will go well, and I think he'll be on time for WrestleMania 40 to give us that dream match between CM Punk and Seth Rollins. And you can have this the story when this match comes. The storytelling is there. Promo battles will be there between the two iconic wrestlers. Punk's history of leaving the company is there, leaving for years and then going to AEW and then coming back to the WWE. That history is well documented. You have Seth Rollins, who has deserved to main event WrestleMania, carrying the WWE on his back for a very long time. Punk has as well. Both are top 10 wrestlers in wrestling today. That is a marquee match that should main event night 1 of WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I think it starts with CM Punk winning the Men's Royal Rumble this year. But that is my 2024 Royal Rumble pay-per-view predictions.